Yeah, hi everybody, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. It is an online TOEFL course. I know there's a lot out there, no doubt. And the reason I'm doing this video is I want to show you how I interact with my students. Right, so when my students do pronunciation or speaking practice, I like to give them audio comments. So if you like this kind of service and you don't want to pay a lot of money, you can find out more about my course by going to onlinetoeflcourse.com. All right, first of all, the first student I'm going to listen to today, his name's Khalid, and he's completed independent speaking practice test number 64. Yeah, hi there, Khalid, and this is Michael. So you're answering the question, would you rather attend an amusement park designed with fast-moving roller coasters, or one with slow-moving rides designed for children? Give reasons to support your point of view. All right, here we go.
Personally, I prefer to go to an amusement park with slow-moving rides designed for children because it is fun and because I have children. First of all, I prefer to go to a park with slow-moving rides because I love slow-moving rides. I don't like fast-moving rides such as roller coaster since I don't like to be scared.
I would say such as roller coasters. I would put an S on the end of that word.
At all. In addition to that, I prefer to go to a park designed for children because I have children. Actually, I have 3 children, and whenever I plan to go to a park, I prefer that this park is designed for my children so that they can ride slow-moving rides and enjoy their time there. That's why I prefer to go to an amusement park with slow-moving rides designed for children.
All right, over and take a look at the ETS rubrics here used to score it. So you're definitely above 3 on this. So I'm looking at delivery. I didn't notice any major problems. You have pretty good control over your language use, which means your grammar and your vocabulary. And you had 2 support points around which you organize your response. So I think it's possible you could get a score of 4 here. So I'll put you at 26 points or higher on this practice test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Patricia, and you signed up to complete a free practice TOEFL exam at my website. And thank you for doing that. So all you need to do now is just follow the instructions. You can choose either independent speaking task number 1 or 2. Using your phone, make a 45-second recording of your response and then email that to me. I will give you an estimate on what your score is right now with speaking from 0 to 30, and I'll explain to you any possible problems you might be having with delivery, language use, and topic development. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Misato, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT, and you signed up to have your TOEFL speaking evaluated for free. That's great. Follow the instructions on the webpage. You have 2 topics. Choose 1 or 2. Make a 45-second response answering the question. Email it back to me. What I'm going to do is I will give you 6 to 8 minutes of audio comments explaining to you what the problems are in your speaking right now. Specifically, I'll give you a score from 0 to 30 points, and I'll also comment with your delivery, language use, and topic development so you can kind of see where you are. So this is a great way for you to measure your TOEFL readiness, particularly with the speaking section of the exam. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Patty, and I am Michael, and I'm going to listen to your pronunciation pretest that you submitted. This is a Speak Clearly lesson number 1, the diagnostic pretest for vowel and consonant sounds. All right, here we go.
Consonants and vowels. Lesson 7. But, boat, wrong, grow, honor, over, father, true.
And that last word is though. That's an interdental consonant. You got to get the tongue between the teeth.
Bat, bot, map, mop, deck, talk, in, on, mac, mock.
Okay.
Bright, brown, broil, lie, lounge, loyal, buy, pound.
Okay, that P sound is something that you're going to want to work on. You're not pronouncing that with enough air, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Gate, get, late, let, meet, met, blade, bled, din, dan, meet.
That last word is Dane, den. So you have a long vowel, short vowel. Dane, den.
Meet, beat, beat, leap, leap, sit, sit, hit, hit.
This is impossible for you right now. You're saying it. You're saying meet, meet, Pete, Pete. I'm saying meet, mit, heat, hit. So you're definitely not distinguishing between those two vowels.
Look, 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 took,
No, it's look, Luke, luck.
to, tough, coat, cool.
Okay, I think this lesson also, the U, the three different U vowel sounds you need to practice.
Match, mesh, chip, chip, future, fisher,
Feature. That TU in the middle is a CH sound.
shepherd, chef,
Shaft, shaft. So the CH in the beginning of the word is hard for you.
cheer, cheer,
That's tough. So I think lesson 13 is also difficult for you.
of, have, fine, vine,
Vine.
fan, van, wafer,
Okay.
waver, how, habit, how, hirash, behavior, rate, Batman, beaten, important, brightening, head track, threatened, major.
So those last sounds, the glottal stop, I'd like you to review that in lesson number 15 also.
Measure,
So for example, if we go back to the glottal stop, it just means when the T's in the middle of a word, Patty, we typically don't pronounce it like a T. We might say Batman, bitten, important, brightening, hat rack, threatened.
fragile, Fraser, legend, lesson,
Legion. Legion.
Engine, Azure, large, Asia,
Okay, I think the palatal consonant, the j, major, measure, that sound I'd like you to review.
cake, keg, sink, sag, came, game, cap, gap, lake, leg, lean, here,
Rear.
better, luggage, rugged, under, other, right, light, committed,
The R sound, for example, the word rear, rugged, you had some trouble with the initial R in the beginning of those words, so I'd like in lesson 18 to review the R consonant sound.
base, flap, flap, cap, cab, lap, lab, pay, bay,
Yeah, lesson 19, I already knew this. The P sound, you're not pronouncing it with enough air. But also something else you want to think about here is we have two kinds of consonants in American English. We have voiced and voiceless consonants. A voiced consonant means there's vibration in the vocal folds, Patty, when you pronounce a sound. A voiceless consonant means the vocal folds are held loosely open and there's no vibration. For example, S. But why am I telling you this? When the P is at the end of a word, because it's a voiceless consonant, the vowel sound should be shorter, which precedes it. The B, a voiced consonant sound, when it's at the end of the word, the vowel which precedes it should be longer. So then I say flap, flab, cap, cab, lap, lab. I want to pronounce it kind of like that.
Lice, lice, sip, zip, su, zu, mace, maze, Elisa, Elisa, multiple, Robert, example, pressure,
Okay,
principle, number, people, philosopher,
good.
volcanism, written, massman, question, summer, reason, chasm, often, cheap, jeep, cart, card, tie, tide.
No, it's hard. Tight, tide. Again, because the D is a voiceless consonant, when it's at the end of the word, the vowel is longer, so we don't say them at the same duration. Tight, tide.
Train, drain, fat, fad.
I would say fat, fad. You have to make the D, the vowel longer before that sound.
Team, dream, type, tie,
No, thigh, thy.
brief, breathe,
Breath, breathe.
thief, thief,
Teeth.
true, though, worth, worthy.
Okay, so I think I got it. So based on the pretest that you just took, and I'm going to listen to your interview questions in just a minute, here are the lessons you want to focus on the most. Now remember, you should go through all of my pronunciation lessons at least one time. Make sure that you're reading with me out loud as I go through the information in those videos. This is called tracking. You want to be comfortable after you finish my videos. You should be pretty comfortable reading and speaking at about 100 to 150 words a minute. This is important later on for your TOEFL speaking. All right, so here we go. Pronunciation lesson number 11. This is very, very tough for you. You must master the sounds in this lesson. Lesson number 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 23, and also lesson number 24. Okay, now you're going to answer the questions in part B, right? So I can get a little bit more information about your speaking fluency.
What is my background and my work history?
Okay.
I studied nursing. First I studied LPN after the high school. For B in Brazil we call it nursing technician.
Okay.
And the same time when I finish, it's 2 years of studying. After I finish, I started working as LPN and
After I finished, sometimes with your grammatical word endings, for example, in that case, finished, the ED is a T sound, finished, and then started, you have to use 2 syllables there, not 1, so you're having a little bit of trouble with your grammatical word endings and syllable division.
hospital. And then I'm starting join the college in nursing, that is 4 years in Brazil. And the same time working as a LPN. When I finish my college, I graduated, I
So when I finished my collegiate studies, I graduated.
was promoted as a LPN, RN, that is a registered nurse.
Okay.
And this
Registered nurse.
same place that I already was working, and
Now, the one thing you also want to be able to do with your speaking, and it's hard because you're making a recording, but you got to work on varying your tone more. You're more, after I finished graduating from college, I became a registered nurse, and then I started working for 2 or 3 years at a local hospital. You're kind of saying everything with more of an even tone, and that's not how we speak English. So don't worry too much about that right now, because the second pretest will help me diagnose any problems with intonation, but I'm just letting you know that you need to make some big changes with your intonation. And that's going to help you with your TOEFL score a lot.
I stay working there for 12 years in the same section, and then
I wouldn't say same section, I would say for the same department maybe. That's probably a better way to say that, so it's a word choice issue.
I decided coming to United States and trying.
I would say I decided to come to the United States, not decided coming to the United States. I would use an infinitive in that case.
To get my license here and became a nurse in here.
And the reason I'm saying I decided to come, when you say decide, you're talking about a potential action. So usually with potential actions, we use infinitives, and with completed actions, if I say, well, I enjoyed working at the hospital, I'm now talking about a completed action, which is why I use a gerund.
And now that's why I'm here studying. And so that's why I want to improve my English and pronunciation, because I really need to speak better, be clear, and understand better for working as a nurse, for be a good nurse and to be respected, be understandable, and comprehend the people, my patients as well. I really need to speak in a really good English.
I really need to speak. I would use an infinitive there, not a gerund. So go to the grammar part of my course and study gerunds and infinitives. This is something that's a little bit hard for you right now.
And also understand really good people for don't commit mistakes, because I'm taking care of lives.
Okay.
And I hope with this course I passed through. First thing I need to pass in this course that I needed for the immigration purpose, but also I want to improve my English, understand better, speaking better.
That's the main thing. Your ultimate goal is not just getting a high score in the speaking section of the exam, but your ultimate goal is to be able to communicate to native speakers in your nursing profession. You just want normal people to be able to understand you. Now remember that because you're a nurse, you'll be working with a lot of sick people, and a lot of sick people are older, and older people don't hear as well as younger people, so your pronunciation has to be even better than normal. Because older people have a more difficult time understanding anybody anyway. You should ask my mom. My mom is 80, and when I call her in the morning on the phone, I have to repeat myself many, many times, and I speak really clearly when I'm a native speaker, right? So it's going to be really tough for you, but you can do this. Now, I got a suggestion here, something I want you to consider. You need a lot of practice with speaking. Agree? Right? Have you ever thought of, if you're not working in an area right now that has English all day, I'm going to give you a suggestion to volunteer at a hospital where you can volunteer maybe 5 to 10 hours a week, and you go to the hospital and you meet with patients. You just kind of talk with them, keep them company. That's going to give you really good practice with your listening and your speaking, and you get some experience in your field. But it would really help you with your TOEFL score. You need a lot of practice. A lot. Patty, a lot of practice.
Because it's not about only I passed through the test. I want to be better for I develop my career and be a better professional.
Yes, and you will be able to do that. Okay, so now let's talk about your intelligibility. So as you answer those 3 questions, I can now figure out on a scale of 1 to 7 where you rank. So 1 would be a high beginner of American English here, and 7 would be a native speaker. For you, I'm going to put you in the low intermediate area. I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 7. So it is an emergency right now. What you need to do every day, it needs to center around speaking. Because your goal, as you go through my course, is to try to go from 2.4 to 5.1, which is advancing your speaking abilities. But right now you have problems with word choice. You have a lot of problems with grammar, specifically in one area as gerunds and infinitives. You're not always sure exactly how to form your sentences. So that's hard, and you have a lot of intelligibility issues. So for you, I mean, you're looking at hundreds of hours of practice, so you have to do as much practice every week as possible, even if, when you're driving down the road, take some of my speaking topics, put them on note cards, and practice answering those topics while you drive. That's one good thing you can do. Volunteer. If you're religious, go to an English-speaking church on Saturday or Sunday. Volunteer at a hospital where you can speak English several hours a week. Do whatever it takes, but find opportunities to speak more English. I can only diagnose your problems here. I can tell you what your problems are, which I've already done, but my job also as your TOEFL speaking and pronunciation mentor is to offer suggestions of things you can do that can help you. If you can read a newspaper with a native speaker every day, that would be good, right? So you read a paragraph in English, the native speaker helps correct your pronunciation as you're reading. That would be good, right? So find opportunities as much as you can. All right, Patty, so thank you for completing this pronunciation pretest. And this is kind of how my course works, right? You send me things, I listen to them, I provide comments, and I give you suggestions. You can complete speaking practice tests, which I highly recommend. Start sending me those on a day-to-day basis if you can. And little by little, you will be able to improve. But to be honest with you, based on your speaking skills right now, I'm not sure what your TOEFL score is for speaking. If I were to take a guess, I would probably say anywhere from maybe 15 to 18 points out of 30. But to go to 26, you're probably looking at 3 to 6 months. And that's if you really practice and follow all my suggestions. If you don't follow a lot of my suggestions, you may never reach 26. But you got to really work super hard right now on everything you do to improve your speaking. All right?